Somewhere between doing your best and doing too much, something quietly breaks inside.
You've rested, yet the tiredness never left. That's when exhaustion becomes something deeper.
No one sees the weight you carry because it lives in your mind.
This isn't failure. It's the cost of living without pause in a world that never stops. What if the problem isn't that you're weak, but that you've been strong for too long?
This video is your practical guide to overcoming burnout, clear steps, real tools, and a calmer way forward. If you wake up tired, struggle to focus, and feel unmotivated no matter how hard you try,
This isn't laziness. It's your nervous system stuck in survival mode.
Pushing harder won't fix it. Motivation won't fix it. Discipline won't fix it.
What will fix it is understanding what's actually happening inside your brain and body,
and learning how to bring your system back into balance, rebuild your energy, and feel like yourself again. Burnout isn't just exhaustion. It's the gradual erosion of your emotional, mental, and physical energy over time.
It often begins silently, showing up as irritability, low motivation, and difficulty focusing on even simple tasks.
Many people confuse burnout with laziness, but burnout is a state of overwhelm, not a lack of discipline.
Burnout occurs when demands consistently exceed your available resources, creating chronic internal stress. You may notice that tasks you once enjoyed now feel heavy or impossible to start. Mental fatigue shows up as forgetfulness, slow thinking, or trouble processing ideas.
Physical burnout can manifest as headaches, body tension, sleep issues, or persistent fatigue. Emotional burnout often brings detachment, numbness, or an ongoing sense of frustration or dread.
Social burnout includes avoiding people you once liked or feeling drained after basic conversations.
Burnout grows when we ignore early warning signs in the hope that things will get better soon.
Today's fast-paced lifestyle accelerates burnout because our minds rarely get true rest.
Constant digital stimulation, scrolling, notifications, and multitasking keeps the brain overloaded.
Burnout becomes dangerous when you stop caring about things that once mattered deeply.
Long-term burnout changes your perception, making everything feel more difficult than it truly is.
Even small decisions begin to feel overwhelming because your mind has lost margin. Burnout thrives in environments where rest is viewed as laziness rather than a necessity.
Perfectionism often plays a hidden role, pushing you to exceed your limits repeatedly.
Burnout is reversible, but only when you acknowledge it and commit to consistent recovery steps. Understanding the root causes of your burnout is the first step to reclaiming your energy and clarity.
In this guide, you will learn the psychology, science, and step-by-step strategies to restore your life.
Burnout is your brain's emergency brake, forcing you to slow down when you won't do it voluntarily.
Chronic stress floods your body with cortisol, disrupting sleep, focus, and emotional balance. When cortisol remains high for too long, your brain begins to shut down non-essential functions.
This is why you find it harder to think creatively or solve problems during burnout.
The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making, becomes sluggish under stress.
Meanwhile, the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, becomes overactive, making everything feel urgent. This imbalance causes overreacting, worrying, and catastrophizing even simple tasks. Burnout also disrupts dopamine regulation, reducing motivation and making pleasure feel distant. This is why you lose interest in hobbies or projects that used to energize you.
Decision fatigue kicks in when the brain is processing too much information too quickly.
You might notice yourself avoiding decisions or procrastinating just to escape mental effort.
Burnout often creates a negative feedback loop. Low energy leads to low productivity, causing guilt.
That guilt increases stress, which deepens burnout and further reduces productivity.
Understanding this loop is crucial because breaking it requires targeted interventions.
Your brain needs periods of true recovery to repair neural pathways damaged by stress.
Without recovery, even small tasks trigger mental overload because the brain cannot reset.
Burnout recovery is not about pushing harder. It's about restoring balance within your nervous system.
Healing begins when you shift from chronic fight or flight into a calmer, restorative state. Your brain is naturally wired for renewal, but you must create conditions that support it.
The next section will show how modern life amplifies burnout and what you can do to counter it.
Many people today live in a constant state of performance, always feeling watched or judged.
Social media fuels comparison, creating unrealistic expectations of productivity and success.
Technology accelerates pace, giving little time to process or reflect on daily experiences.
Multitasking drains cognitive energy because the brain switches tasks rather than doing them simultaneously.
Remote work blurs boundaries, making it difficult to disconnect from responsibilities.
Many workplaces reward output over well-being, unintentionally promoting burnout culture.
Students face academic pressure, digital distraction, and uncertain futures, all at once.
High achievers are often more vulnerable to burnout due to internal pressure and self-imposed standards.
Perfectionism convinces you that rest must be earned rather than required.
Constant notifications interrupt your focus, preventing deep work and increasing mental fragmentation.
Decision overload from endless choices, apps, opportunities, commitments, exhausts mental energy.
Many people feel they must stay productive, even in moments meant for rest.
Lack of genuine downtime means your mind never reaches full restoration.
Emotional labor, managing feelings, conflicts, or expectations, drains far more energy than most people realize.
Many individuals suppress emotions until they burst out as overwhelm or exhaustion.
Poor sleep quality compounds burnout, weakening resilience to stress. Nutritional imbalances and sedentary lifestyles reduce mental endurance and clarity.
Constant exposure to negative news adds emotional strain and a sense of hopelessness.
All these factors create a perfect environment for burnout to thrive, unless addressed intentionally.
Now let's transition into identifying your personal burnout patterns and triggers.
Begin by observing your energy levels throughout the day and noting when they crash.
Track which tasks drain you the most and which replenish you, even slightly.
Pay attention to recurring thoughts like, I can't keep up, or I just want to escape.
Notice if you've stopped doing things that once made you feel alive or fulfilled.
Reflect on whether you feel pressure to meet external expectations more than personal needs. Identify stress triggers: emails, conflicts, deadlines, social pressure, or cluttered spaces.
Watch for physical signs: tight shoulders, headaches, stomach tension, or shallow breathing.
Observe emotional patterns like irritability, numbness, or sudden waves of sadness. Ask yourself whether you're overcommitting to avoid disappointing others. Evaluate whether you're doing things out of genuine desire or out of obligation.
Determine if you are prioritizing work over sleep or downtime.
Identify avoidance tendencies: procrastination, constant scrolling, or escaping responsibilities.
Reflect on whether you've been feeling disconnected from your purpose or goals. Ask yourself if you've been running on autopilot without mindfulness or presence. Awareness is the first step. You cannot fix what you cannot name. Write down your burnout symptoms to make them concrete and visible.
Once you identify patterns, you can interrupt and replace them with healthier alternatives.
Burnout looks different for everyone, so your solutions must be personalized. Remember that awareness is empowering. It gives you control where you once felt helpless. In the next section, we begin the practical recovery process. Recovery begins with understanding that burnout is not weakness. It's a biological response to overload. Your brain and body are trying to protect you by forcing a slowdown. The first stage of recovery is rest, not the superficial kind, but deep, intentional restoration. Deep rest involves physical, mental, emotional, social, and sensory recovery. Physical rest includes sleep quality, low-intensity movement, and reducing overstimulation. Mental rest happens when you detach from constant information and stop multitasking.
Emotional rest requires acknowledging feelings without suppressing or rationalizing them.
Social rest means spending time with people who recharge you, or having solitude when needed. Sensory rest means reducing noise, screens, and environmental stressors. After restoring initial energy, the next stage is resetting your nervous system. Deep breathing, nature exposure, and grounding techniques calm overactive stress responses.
A calm nervous system increases clarity, motivation, and emotional stability. Only after rest and regulation should you begin rebuilding structure and habits.
Rebuilding too early leads to relapse because your foundation is still unstable. Once stable, the next stage focuses on simplifying your life and regaining control.
Simplification starts with removing unnecessary commitments, draining your time and energy.
Say no more often, especially to tasks misaligned with your priorities.
Limit digital noise by turning off unnecessary notifications and batching communication. Create daily routines that anchor your mind. Morning rituals, work blocks, and evening wind-downs.
Cluttered environments subtly increase stress. Simplifying your space reduces cognitive strain.
Your to-do list should become shorter, clearer, and focused on what truly matters.
Group similar tasks together to reduce switching fatigue and increase flow. Set boundaries around work so that your brain can fully disconnect after hours.
Protecting your time is not selfish. It's essential for long-term mental health.
Next, we'll explore how to rebuild purpose, motivation, and personal identity after burnout.
After stabilizing your energy and simplifying your life, the next phase is rediscovering your purpose.
Purpose isn't something you stumble into. It's something you build through reflection and exploration.
Start by identifying what energizes you, even slightly. Curiosity is the first spark of purpose.
Think about moments when you felt aligned, present, or proud. These moments contain clues.
Your values, what matters most to you, are the compass that points toward meaningful goals.
To rebuild motivation, choose goals that feel achievable, not overwhelming.
Break your goals into tiny, manageable steps. The brain rewards small wins.
Small, consistent progress builds more momentum than sporadic bursts of effort. Redefine productivity as alignment, not speed. Working with intention restores motivation.
Allow yourself to experiment with different interests until something resonates.
Motivation grows when your actions align with your values and identity. Your identity is not defined by productivity. It's shaped by growth, resilience, and authenticity.
Focus on becoming someone you admire, not someone others expect you to be.
Purpose grows in silence, reflection, and consistent action, not in external validation. The final stage of purpose building is connecting your growth to something beyond yourself.
Momentum doesn't appear instantly. It's built through consistent, gentle action.
Set a daily minimum, one tiny task you can complete even on low-energy days. Pair habits with existing routines to make them effortless and automatic. Reduce friction by preparing environments that support your goals. Motivation thrives when your steps are simple, visible, and rewarding. Celebrate small wins. They teach your brain that progress feels good.
Momentum builds when you remove guilt and embrace consistency over perfection.
Your pace may feel slow at first, but slow progress is still progress.
As your energy rises, gradually increase challenge, not intensity, but purpose. With consistency, your life becomes aligned again. Flow returns, and burnout loses its power. Long-term recovery depends on consistency. Small actions repeated daily build resilience.
Track your progress visually or in a journal. It reinforces effort and highlights growth.
Check in weekly to evaluate energy, goals, and alignment with your purpose.
Adjust your habits gently. Life changes, and flexibility prevents burnout from returning. Protect your boundaries daily. Your time, attention, and energy are precious. Make time for activities that genuinely recharge you. Nature, creativity, connection. Even on busy days, integrate micro moments of rest. 5 minutes of deep breathing can reset energy. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Each step toward balance matters.
Maintain community support. Friends, mentors, or online groups can provide guidance.
Reflect on lessons from burnout. It's a teacher, not just an obstacle.
Forgive yourself for past overwork. Self-compassion is essential for lasting recovery. Use reminders and environmental cues to maintain healthy habits effortlessly. Over time, your body and mind will naturally crave balance instead of chaos.
Daily reflection strengthens insight. Ask yourself what went well and what can improve.
Consistency, awareness, and self-kindness form the pillars of lasting recovery.
Burnout is not a permanent state. It's a sign that your system needs care and guidance. Recovery is a journey, not a single event. Progress happens one step at a time.
Your brain, body, and spirit all thrive when you respect their natural limits.
Setbacks may occur, but each setback teaches resilience and strengthens awareness.
Celebrate growth, no matter how small. It compounds into lasting transformation.
Surround yourself with reminders of your purpose, progress, and values.
Maintain a growth mindset. See challenges as opportunities for learning and resilience.
Your energy, focus, and well-being are investments. Prioritize them like precious assets. Remember, recovery, growth, and alignment are within your reach. Begin today and step into your empowered life.
We hope this video helps those who feel burned out and exhausted
Begin their recovery gently, at their own pace.